Definitely auspicious to have these conversations now here in January, because a lot of civilizations treated the spring equinox as the changing of the actual year, so you can really get yourself in a mode of being receptive and functioning within the intuitive. Find yourself kind of tapping into that old matrix again. It might be out of habit. It might be just breaking this tendency that's more mental based than anything. It's not actually you. It's just something you're dealing with. I know from my perspective, I've had to, you know, take on my mental challenges as though they were pieces of armor that I needed to use to get through, battles that this life fed to me. And we all have those battles. We all had to be really strong personalities for a while, but after a while you keep using those personality aspects. It's just going to cause more of what Marsha calls these instant replays, where you feel like whatever goal you met doesn't actually serve that feeling that you were looking for, and it has this hollow emptiness to it. And so, once you put those aspects down from yourself, you actually begin attracting, what is actually you. And boy, oh boy, is that a process. And it certainly helps to be surrounded by others who are in that process for themselves as well. It just really is helpful in that regard. I was thinking about what you said, Heather, and, there's something worth mentioning here is that what about all the individuals who, because of their existential weave, we'll call it, like their higher self, put them in proximity to you. Now, mentally, they're still in the curated narrative. Mentally, you're not in the curated narrative, but somehow the weave brought you two together, and just the energy, or what you called your vibe, shooting out there, it literally forces them to have to, like, what that fire is, then that quote that Marsha gave us, that fire is burning away the corpse like aspects. So I think about those people, the people who, because their weave brought them into proximity to, say, us. I don't want to say like our little group. I'm just saying anybody out there who's not participating in the mental curated narrative. What of those people that are in our proximity but actually still are? It's like they're lukewarm. They're halfway in, they're halfway out. They respect us and our opinions, but they don't have to, like, scarlet letter us and distance themselves from us. So their weave is kind of unique. I don't know why I brought that up, but I felt like it was an interesting notion that I came across. What of those people that are kind of on the, we'll just call them on the fringe?
Well, I mean, they say that you cannot really attract or magnetize towards you something that is not within your vibration. So I assume that anyone who crosses my path is meant to be both a lesson and a blessing to me, and vice versa. And a lot of these barriers are really like, they're mental barriers. They're not authentic, actual soul to soul barriers. And so I think when people connect with each other at the level of the heart, this other stuff kind of just doesn't, it doesn't, hold sway in the same way. And unless you're holding a polarity, it's when you start to hold aside, or, take aside or hold a polarity, that I think bridges can't really be created.